built for it, yeah, I'm built for it. 10 toes down, I don't quit, I'm built for it. Haters talk loud, but
What if I told you that in 2020, a man walked away from $40 million and ended up making more money than if he took the deal? What if I told you that same man is now pulling in over $20 million a year, completely independent, no corporate bosses, no one telling him what he can and can't say? And what if I told you that most of your favorite content creators are making the exact same mistake that destroyed a generation of musicians? Today, we're talking about Joe Budden. And before you click off, this ain't about whether you like Joe or not. This is about a blueprint that could change how every creator, every streamer, every podcaster thinks about their future. Because while everyone's chasing the bag, Joe Budden might have been playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. The question is, was he crazy for walking away from Spotify's millions, or was he the smartest man in the room? Let's set the scene. 2020, Joe Budden sitting across from the Spotify executives. They slide a contract across the table, $40 to $50 million over 2 years. Life-changing money, generational wealth. But here's what they wanted in return: complete exclusivity to Spotify, removal of all his YouTube content, zero ownership of his intellectual property, limited creative control, no rights to his co-host projects. Joe looked at that contract and walked away. Now, I want you to think about this. How many of us have dreamed of a $40 million offer? How many of us would even hesitate? But here's the real question. What's the difference between getting paid and getting owned? Because here's what Spotify was really saying: we'll pay you handsomely, but everything you create, every word you speak, every moment of genius, that belongs to us forever. Sound familiar? It should. It's the same deal record labels been offering black artists for decades. Here's some money up front. Just sign over your masters. How did that work out for most of them? Now, let's fast forward to July 2025. The New York Times drops a bombshell report. Joe Budden is making $1 million per month on Patreon alone. Over $1 million every month from people who chose to support him. No middleman, no corporate overload deciding his worth. That's $12.5 million a year just from Patreon. Add in the sponsorship deals he negotiates, merchandise he owns, YouTube and revenue he keeps, licensing deals for his content, syndication rights to his shows. Total, over $20 million annually. Now, here's the kicker. He owns it all. Every episode, every clip, every moment can be monetized again and again. He can sell it, license it, pass it down to his kids. But let's play devil's advocate here. What if he had taken Spotify's deal? $50 million over 2 years is $25 million annually. More than his current $20 million, right? Wrong. Because after 2 years, then what? Spotify owns the content. They can keep making money off his voice, his ideas, his creativity forever. And Joe gets nothing after that contract expires. But with ownership, this $20 million annual income doesn't have an expiration date. Now here's where it gets deep. Most creators think like employees. How much can I get paid for my work? But Joe, he started thinking like an owner. How can I build something that pays me forever? Employee mindset says, take the biggest check now. Owner mindset says, build the biggest machine for later. And this is where we need to ask ourselves some uncomfortable questions. How many talented creators do we know who got paid once for content that platforms are still making money from? How many viral moments? How many career-defining clips? How many cultural moments are sitting in some corporate vault, making them rich while the creator struggles? Think about it. That funny clip that went viral last year, the platform still runs ads on it. The platform still gets data from it. The platform still benefits from it. But the creator, they got paid once, if at all. Joe Budden looked at this system and said, nah, I'm building my own. Now let's talk about what really happened with Spotify, because the narrative was that Joe was difficult or emotional or he fumbled the bag. But what if Joe saw something everyone else missed? Spotify wasn't just buying his podcast, they were buying his brand, his voice, his relationship with his audience. Joe had spent years building trust with his listeners, years of daily content, personal stories, cultural commentary. That relationship is invaluable. And Spotify wanted to own that relationship. They wanted the right to say, if you want to hear Joe Budden, you have to come through us. But here's what Joe understood that maybe others didn't. Audience loyalty isn't transferable. When he left Spotify, his audience followed him, not the platform, because real influence isn't about the platform. It's about connection. And you can't put a price tag on that connection, but you can own it. Now, let's fast forward to today's streaming world. We got streamers signing deals worth tens of millions. On the surface, that looks like success, right? But let's dig deeper. What are they really signing away? Every stream, every highlight, every viral moment, every piece of content that made them famous, platform owns it all. 10 years from now, when these streamers might be retired or moving on to something else, those platforms will still be making money off their content, still running ads on their old streams, still licensing their clips, still benefiting from their creativity. And the streamer, they got their check, and that's it. Is this starting to sound familiar? How is this different from a musician selling their masters for quick cash, then watching someone else get rich off of their songs for the next 50 years? It's the same playbook, different industry,